The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, this is Mia Mosinzia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing: Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People, based upon a real-life relationship, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon. Do read it. I'm sure you'll love it. It's www.miamosinzia.com and www.amazon.com/Mia
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and over 25 podcast platforms, including Amazon and Audible, and coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, TuneIn, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with a wonderful author from Providence, Rhode Island, who is an owner and president of IBG Productions, runs a production company. She wrote 15 plays, created a web series, talk show, and emerging filmmaker. And one of her films called Lady Night drew a lot of critical praise at the Rhode Island Black Film Festival, and created a sport called Volleyball. We're going to find out more about that for those during the pandemic trying to find something to do, and maybe we can get to play here, although we can't do it online. I'm sure it can be done. And yes, she's also been talking book called Therapy Fix and what that's about. And no, we can't fix it right now, but it's in a different spotlight. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful Providence, Rhode Island, ladies and gentlemen, author, entrepreneur, and the very, very multi-talented Helen Baskerville-Dukes. Helen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
All right. Thank you, Mike. That was awesome, all of that you just said.
Well, I've been looking forward to having you on as well, too. And I'd like to talk about Wallop Ball and your ventures with IBG Productions and your plays. But then we're also here to talk about your book, Therapy Fix, which is out right now. And it just combines hardship of growing up in an abusive home, violent adult relationships with healing hope leading to ultimate love marriage and therapist, and talks about the relationship and where it goes from there. And also, you're owner of IBG Productions. You wrote 15 plays, and also one of your films got critical acclaim. And before we get into all that, tell us how you first got started.
Well, I first got started in writing. I had left my job, and I began to just write. Like literally, something came over me. But before that, I was actually the first rapper in Rhode Island, female rapper. Oh. So it probably, was in there hidden, not even thinking about it. So I had gone to the library to look up how to write a screenplay. That was my first manuscript. And that was in 98. And from there, it just, spurred into something greater. I started writing plays. My first play was for my church. It was for Black History Play. And then from there, I was like, oh, wow, I love this. And then I began to write more plays and produce them at local theaters and local schools all the way up into 2018.
Wow. You've actually done a lot. And what are some of your favorite plays and playwrights and movies that you grew up?
Actually, plays, I had gone to 2 plays, and one play was Life is a Cabaret, and I had seen one of Tyler Perry's plays. Other than that, I didn't grow up watching plays. It's just one of those things you're just born with a gift, and it's just funny how it appears, or surfaces. And even with writing books, I can say I read maybe a few authors. And now that you put me on the spot, I'm like,
it's okay. Take all the time in the world. And if you need some coffee, I'll be glad to share some with you. So I'm going to need some myself. We're human. We tend to have those moments where you black out yourself. So.
Right. I'm glad you had the cup of coffee. I just, because I don't have one here. I'm like, okay. But the writing the book, I can't say that I'm a big book reader. I just love writing. I love telling stories. So the book writing actually came as an experiment on Facebook. I started writing chapters, and from there, I said, you know what, it's time for me to publish one of my books that I put on Facebook. So I had written 2 books on Facebook in 2015, and here we are 5 years later with one of them.
Wow, that is amazing! You got 2 books on Facebook, and what are they, and where can we find them? That sounds interesting, because my wife actually has one of them on Facebook in her group, and then we have one that's still in the manuscript and waiting to be published. That's interesting. That's like a new trend, just putting books on Facebook.
Right. Well, I actually had taken them off of Facebook just because I said, you know what, I am going to publish at least Therapy Fix one day. And a few years later, as they came up in my stories, how they remind you of what you had written. So I decided to just delete it. And of course, expand the book. And that's where Therapy Fix. The other one was 64 Berkeley Street. I had taken that off of Facebook as well. So, and I have other books, also turning some of my plays into books because the stories are very detailed and relevant. So I think those who I can't reach in terms of coming out to watch a play in my area, I can reach them with a book telling the same story, but more detailed.
That is very fascinating, too. And, of course, you also did some, films as well, too, like Ladies' Night. But before we talk a little bit about that, who are some of your favorite actors and what are some of your favorite movies growing up?
Right. Well, some of my favorite actors would probably be Denzel Washington, Julia Roberts, Nia Long. Let's see, there are quite a few. Of course, I like Tom Cruise, Morgan Freeman. As for movies growing up, I'm actually a murder mystery buff. I still watch old school Murder, She Wrote, Columbo, Law and Order, all those shows, just because I I try to figure out the story. So that's kind of what I grew up with. But grew up watching a lot of cartoons, and then from there just playing outside. So I wasn't really big on TV.
Oh, wow. Cartoons, what were your favorite? I mean, you got to have a lot of Saturday morning ones. That's very interesting.
Yeah. Roadrunner, Bugs Bunny.
Oh, my gosh. And, of course, you put this all together and Ladies' Night and, of course, putting everything together. And tell us a little bit about that before we talk about your book.
Well, putting what together? Therapy Fix or
Ladies' Night.
Oh, Ladies' Night. Okay. Well, Ladies' Night actually, I had taken some time off from writing plays, and we wanted to try to do something different in terms of promotion. So my cousin who was working with me had mentioned, well, let's write a short play and go out to some of the churches and just, show them what you have, just to better promote myself. And I said, well, I can, but what should I write about? Because when I had written plays, they were at least an hour and a half long. So I needed something smaller. And she said, well, how about Ladies' Night? She said a group of 4 women. And I was like, okay. And about a good week or so, I had Ladies' Night 1 play already written and ready to go. And then we went on to Ladies' Night 2, Ladies' Night 3, which is about 4 Christian women who come together once a month for Ladies' Night to talk about their lives and trying to be the best they can be in God. And of course, there's drama and all these things because they're real people and they have real issues and, and they're maturing and growing. So I decided also from the place, we sold out twice with that play. So it was one of the ones that people really connected with, especially women. So we turned that one into a play just because the cast was awesome.
Go ahead. I love what you're saying here. So,
yeah. So some years later, we decided to turn it into a movie, and we had gotten with a few friends, and they filmed it. The cast came back to act, and we held it at the historical Columbus Theater here on Broadway in Providence, Rhode Island. And the turnout was great. We had a few political candidates there as well. And that's how Ladies' Night got started. And that was one of my first film projects. Wow,
that is amazing. Went on to do 15 more. And you also, create a talk show, web series, and everything like that. Maybe just tell us a little bit about those before we talk about Therapy Fix.
Okay. Well, the talk show was just to talk about social issues in our community that a lot of times we don't talk about. We might talk about them in silos, but I wanted to be able to give advice and encourage folks to not just seek counseling, but to talk about the things that they've had problems with so that they can live a more productive life, and that there are other people who are surviving with some of the same issues, and that there is help and a way out.
And what can we find your talk show at?
It should still be, it's still up on Facebook called The Living Room Conversations. If you go on there, the videos are still on there on Facebook.
Okay. Well, that sounds really good. And speaking of counseling, we'll talk about your book, Therapy Fix, in just a minute. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. It's powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, along with Amazon, Audible, Apple, and coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Tuned In, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with author, playwright, and the owner of IBG Production, Helen Baskerville-Dukes, here on The Mike Wagner Show. Let's talk about your book, Therapy Fix, which is out right now, and tell us a little bit about the book. And it's also basically getting some help, and I guess it's just dealing with hope and just dealing with a therapist, I guess, is just what, love match or something.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, it's all that. It's just a combination of a lot of love and drama. So, of course, it's fictional, but it's about a woman, a businesswoman, Juanita. For this past several months, she's not able to eat, sleep, or drink because she's been haunted by past abuses of her father and ex-lover. So reluctantly, she goes to see a therapist and is recommended to one by a male friend. And from the moment she walks into the office and sees him, it's wow, the immediate attraction was there. But then, of course, on the other hand, the therapist, there's the code of ethics. So, I can't say much about what happens after there. But of course, when you go to therapy, you're going to talk about your issues. How much of her issues does she divulge? What happens with that attraction and other things that come into play, like her siblings. There's death, of course, the abuse, but of course, there's to love is to heal.
Mm-hmm. And of course, that they're having trouble with escaping anxiety, nightmares, and whatever else. And yeah, it's a really brave decision to seek professional help and with all these things. And do you think that's very common these days, where they go in for that type? Is it common? Is it considered easy or rather difficult? Or do you hear these horror stories on a regular basis where the patient gets involved with a therapist in a wrong way?
Well, yeah, we hear about that as well. But I think the first step is going to see a therapist, which is taboo. But so many people are dealing with so many issues, and you just can't keep it in because it will surface one day, or it will stop you from having a functional or a healthy relationship. So going to see someone to deal with those issues and help you through them, because most of the time people who deal with issues, it's when they were young. So you cannot blame yourself for things that you witnessed or the abuses that you had succumbed to when you were a child, So, and I just, urge people to go get help and talk about those things, but also don't give up on love, especially when anything you saw, everything you saw about love was dysfunctional. Doesn't mean that it has to be dysfunctional for you.
Mm-hmm. And also, too, that I was going to ask you about the book as well, too, and also with the therapist that I'm just drawing a blank at the moment here. What inspired you to write Therapy Fix?
Well, again, I had stopped writing plays, so I wanted to make sure I kept my audience. And again, I wanted to do something else with my writing, and that's where I had decided to try Facebook. I had a lot of fans on Facebook from my playwriting, and that could help me navigate this book writing process to be able to be more detailed about things I've seen and what I was visualizing. So that's how Therapy Fix came about. I thought about, what can I write about? What will people want to hear? How to make it exciting, how to keep them wanting more from page to page to page to chapter. And that's how Therapy Fix came about.
Okay. And where can we find Therapy Fix at?
Therapy Fix can be found on Amazon.com or Walmart.com, Goodreads.com, BarnesandNobles.com. That's where they can find it.
That is amazing. And we'll talk about what's coming up next for Helen Baskerville-Dukes and all of the sport that we're looking forward to. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking a budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. 888-960-6960 or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, along with Amazon, Audible, Apple, coming soon to Podbean, as well as Buzzsprout, TuneIn, and more. Make sure you take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with author and the owner of IBG Productions and entrepreneur Helen Baskerville-Dukes here on the Mike Wagner Show. We talked about Therapy Fix, what the book is about, what inspired her to write it, and I was thinking about going through some therapy myself. My therapy fix is playing some wallop ball. And we heard that you created this sport, and tell us about wallop ball. I mean, I'm ready to play to solve my therapy, having a fix.
Before we talk about wallop ball, I do want to say Toni Morrison and Maya Angelou. I just like this huge blank. Are a couple of my favorite authors.
Are they playing wallop ball too or something?
But anyway, wallop ball. So in the summer 2016 Olympics, I was watching, and then through near the end of the Olympics, I thought, like, how does the sport get into the Olympics? And then I just said, you know what? I'm going to create a sport. And, I prayed about it. And a couple of weeks later, I had the bones to wallop ball. It was first called Kick It. Mm-hmm. And then a year later, well, right after that, I had asked my husband to come outside and let's try it. He said, no. He was like, I'm not going to do that. He said, well, what are the rules? I said, we don't need rules. Let's try this. He was like, I'm not going to go out with you. Like, I needed him, but I did for some reason. When we went out, I found some rules that were similar to what I was thinking the sport might be like. And I massaged them and made them mine. I personalized them. And so he finally went out with me, and it failed horribly. The ball wouldn't do what I thought it would do. And about a year later, I had decided to get my daughter and her friends together, and we'd go out and we'd practice until we got it together. So wallop ball is like American handball. Instead of hitting the ball with your hand against the wall, there are two opponents on the court at one time, and they're kicking the ball back and forth. They alternate in serves and kicks. And basically that's about it. No hands, no arms can touch the ball. The ball, when you kick it, it has to bounce off the wall onto the floor. So you are kicking it on a bounce.
Wow, that's amazing. So in other words, it's not like handball. It's almost like soccer, where it's like you kick the ball off the wall, you're allowed to bounce, and you kick. Now, can you also control the ball with your knee and then you kick? Can you do that?
Yes.
You can?
Yes, okay. You could keep it in the air as long as it doesn't. Once it bounces on the floor and it's your turn to kick it, it cannot hit the floor again, or your hands or your arms. It has to reach to the wall. So you have to kick it back to the wall. So you can use your head, your stomach, your knee, whatever.
Wow.
But just not your arm and your hands.
I'm about to try that sometime with my family and get some people you guys can come over too. And what's a point system too? It's like, how do you score points, and how many points do you have to get in order to win the game?
Okay, so... Oh, Jesus. We haven't played since the beginning of the year. I drew a blank. How many points do you have to the first one to 9 on wallop ball?
Okay. So
no, the first one is 7 points.
Oh, the first is 7 and the second is 9. So basically, it's like if the other person misses, you get a point. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
So if they kick it out of bounds or they don't kick it to the wall, or they miss the ball, you get the point.
Oh, wow. That's as simple that's as simple as anything. And of course, since you're the first female rapper in Rhode Island, and maybe you can just tell us about that. And maybe you can do a little rap song or something about wallop ball, therapy fix, or whatever too. So
I don't freestyle. I wish I did. When people freestyle, I'm like, you are amazing. But it's funny how you went back to the rapper thing. But if anybody wants to know about wallop ball, they can go to WALLOPBALL.com, and the general rules are there and everything. And we hope to start our league once sometime next year when COVID is over, we were going to begin our league. So you wanted to talk about me being the first female rapper?
Well, since you mentioned it, and I thought this is going to be very, very interesting. It's like, I've never heard of female rappers coming out of Rhode Island, but I mean, there are some like in New York, California, Florida, but Rhode Island, I thought that is very interesting. I hear about that.
Right.
Some of your big influences. I mean, I remember like the first rap. What was it? Grandmaster Flash, and he had oh my gosh, I think was it Sugar Hill Gang? I mean. Yep. Curtis Blow. This is like way, way, way back.
I was rapping in the 80s, so I don't rap anymore. I have written a few raps, but just never got to the studio or anything just because I'm busy doing other things, and rapping's not my thing like it used to be. But I am crazy convinced, and suckers like to tempt me. I'm scanning the floors for hearts filled with envy, so I can take them and break them and rake them out of here and leave the people with soul in the atmosphere. So move your feet to this beat down as I flow smooth to this. Nah, that's it. So.
Wow, that's something better. That's something better. I can come up with it. I mean, I'm speechless. It's like if we try a rap contest, you win hands down. This is amazing.
You're so silly. I love
it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with author, entrepreneur, and the first female rapper, Helen Baskerville-Dukes, on the Mike Wagner Show, and creator of Wallet Ball. Very big thank you for your time. We got to play some time, and just a few more things. What can we expect from you in 2021 and beyond, Helen?
Well, 2021, you should expect the Wallet Ball league to begin, hopefully to roll it out in a couple of states adjoining Rhode Island, such as Massachusetts and Connecticut. And we're okay with other people. The sport's been trademarked. We're actually working on a ball. Let's see, hopefully that'll become, a professional sport in the next 3 to 5 years, of course, looking to the main goal of it being an Olympic sport.
That is amazing. And how about in terms of books and plays and everything else? Right. What can we expect from you next year? Right.
So actually, we just started the sequel ebook to Therapy Fix. It's Therapy Fix novelette. So, and people through my publisher, they can email me because that's not going to be up on Amazon. We're keeping that on my publisher's site. Also, we're doing a few other chapter ebooks on her website. So I'm expanding my writing that way. I love writing the book, but I think I like the chapter pieces better. You're doing it that way, just continuing to hear people's take on what they've read and the excitement that keeps me energized.
It sounds really good. And we're looking forward to that. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career, Helen?
My mom.
Okay.
My mother always told me she would allow my sister and I to act silly in front of her friends in the middle of the living room floor. And when I heard Eddie Murphy talk about that when he first did one of his stand-ups, I just chuckled because my mother would do the same thing. And she always encouraged me to just keep going and to do whatever I feel that I can do in terms of my creativity. She continues to tell me, you're going to make it. Just continue, keep writing, keep being you. Mm-hmm. You're a joy to be around. So it's my mom.
And that's very important as well, too. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
You might not have that person around you to influence you or to encourage you all the time. So encourage yourself. If you feel it in your heart that you have a gift, use it the best way you know how. There's nothing like leaving this world without people seeing the best of you.
That is well said. Once again, author Helen Baskerville-Dukes of Therapy Fix, also creator Wallet Ball and more. Wallet Ball in the Mike Wagner Show. Helen, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. And make sure you keep us up to date. Once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase and check out your books?
Right. I can do that. Oh, you want me to tell you that now or tell you that later?
Yeah. Tell her right now your upcoming projects,
right now?
website,
okay.
yeah. And also where to find Therapy Fix.
Right. They can find Therapy Fix on Amazon.com, Walmart.com, BarnesandNoble.com. I can be, I'm on Twitter, Helen Dukes or Helen B. Dukes on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, Author Helen Baskerville-Dukes. Of course, you can find Wallop Ball on WALLOP, wallopball.com. And I'm all over the place. I'm on LinkedIn as Helen Dukes. I'm everywhere.
and rightfully so. Once again, Helen, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely great. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. And make sure you keep in touch. And got to play some Wallop sometime to have our therapy fix.
Well, absolutely. And if you do try it, just send me a message and let me know. You're going to love it. I'm telling you, I played it. I'm 50 years old and I love to win. So it'll keep you in good shape.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, Custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, this is Mia Mohsen Zia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People Based Upon a Real-Life Relationship, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon. Do read it. I'm sure you'll love it. It's www.miamohsenzia.com and www.amazon.com/Mia
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.